You tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the Sportscast. Tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
Hello, everyone. Welcome in to Watson's Playbook. Hello, everyone. Welcome in to Watson's Playbook episode number 28 here. This is the episode right before Thanksgiving. We got family in town, so I want to apologize for all the background noise you're going to hear. Got a lot of kids running around having a good time. I hope you guys are able to have a good week, have a good Thanksgiving dinner, have a good meal, break bread, and just really think of what you're thankful for that you have, especially this year. You know, this year being crazy with COVID and a lot of those things that's happened this year, whether you've lost your job or the struggles you've dealt with, the struggles we've dealt with as a nation. And just really think about how blessed you are and what you really have. And this is my favorite holiday. I love this holiday the most. Is to just get together with good family, have a good meal, watch some football together, and hang out. And I hope you guys are able to do that. Still, some states are refusing to let people do that, but I'm doing it regardless. I know they say we're not supposed to, but look, I got family over. It's Thanksgiving. I'm not canceling my holidays. I'm not living in fear. So, I'll wear my mask when I go outdoors, and I'll wear my mask in stores, and I'll wash my hands. But other than that, that's as far as I go with it. And just got to get on living life. So I hope you guys have a good holiday, a good Thanksgiving. We got Christmas in a month. I won't be canceling that either. So, but I just want to apologize. There will be probably a lot of noise in the background here, but let's jump into it. I'm solo this week. Me and Jeff planned to do a podcast this week, but he had to do some other things, the craziness of getting ready things for Thanksgiving and everything else. So it's just me tonight. We're going to jump into the weekly sports update here. Number one, the Rams make Tom Brady uncomfortable as they pick him off twice. The Buccaneers had a chance to go down the field and win the game. Tom Brady throws an interception. At one point, Tom Brady was 3 of 21 passing. I don't know about you, but that is pathetic. He did not play good. The Rams defense was able to make him feel uncomfortable. Rams get the job done. They won the game 27-24. Jared Goff had a good game. He had 376 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also threw 2 interceptions, but they figured out that they could not run the ball because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is really good at stopping the ball. And their coach, McVay, called a very good game. They stopped running the ball, let Goff throw the ball, and he was able to get the job done as they take the victory away, and they keep rising to the 3rd spot in the NFC. Number 2, the Chiefs take it down to the wires. Mahomes throws the game-winning touchdown with 27 seconds left as they beat the Raiders 35-31. The Raiders actually scored, and they left too much time on the clock. They went up late with 1 minute and 37 seconds on the clock. Mahomes drives down and throws the game-winning touchdown with 27 seconds on the clock and just gave them too much time. The Raiders are a very confusing team in ways. They beat the Chiefs earlier this season. They played at home. They kept it close. This team I think could be something. They're 6-4 right now. They're not too far off. They're having a good season. They're a team that is going to be underdogs, I think. And if they make the playoffs, maybe they can make some noise. But they played the Chiefs twice already, and they beat them once, and they played them really good this time. And the Chiefs are the best team in the league, or one of the best teams in the league. And so look forward to them and see how this team can grow and develop with John Gruden out there in Las Vegas. Number 3, the Dolphins bench Tua as Denver's defense confuses them and sacks him 6 times. They got to him a lot. They said he looked lost out there. He was not playing very well. Denver wins the game 20-13 as they pick off Larry Fitzgerald. Not Larry Fitzgerald. They picked off Fitz Magic out there, and in the game, he didn't have a good game after coming in from Tua. Tua looked lost. They were able to pressure him and get to him and make him make bad decisions with the football. They only lost by a touchdown, but they weren't able to get the job done as they fall to the Denver Broncos. Number 4, the Cincinnati Bengals lose to the Washington football team 20-9, but the biggest loss of the day there is they lose Joe Burrow for 9 to 12 months. He tore his ACL, his MCL, and had more structural damage in that knee. I watched it hit, and let's say I hate to see this. I hate to see this happen. Joe Burrow, I'm a big fan of him. I watched him last year at LSU, won the championship, and play really tough competition and get the job done. He comes in. He's playing on the Bengals, and there was a fight between him and Justin Herbert as who's going to win the Rookie of the Year. And I like both those quarterbacks. I'm more of a Joe Burrow guy because, look, he's playing on a less talented team with the Bengals than Herbert has. Herbert has a decent team out there in California, the Chargers, but they lose him 9 to 12 months. And at this point, that brings into if everything goes right and everything goes great for him and he comes back healthy, if it's 12 months, he might miss next season. That comes into question right now. So I hope he comes back fully healthy. He's young enough to get to do that. And them being that bad this season, they're already going to lock up the number 3 pick, probably maybe number 2. And if they're that bad next year, you're just plowing on good picks and good players for Joe Burrow. They got to get offensive line around him to protect their future quarterback. Number 5, the Packers blow 2 14-point leads as they lost to the Colts in overtime, 34-31. They turned the ball over 4 times and only scored 3 points in the second half. That's the biggest thing. We were up 28-14 at halftime. It felt really good going into half, and then our offense came out and stale. We looked stagnant. We went 3 and out. We didn't play really good in the second half. The Colts, our defense only gave up 1 touchdown in the second half. They gave up the rest of them. They held them to field goals. We put the defense in bad positions as we fumbled the football and left the Colts with a short fieldage, but we were able to hold them to field goals only. And we just didn't get the job done. We played a good defense, and when you're playing a good defense, you cannot turn the ball over 4 times. We went to overtime. MVS fumbled the football and gave the ball right back to the Colts as they ran 2 plays and kicked the field goal to win the game. Packers fall to 7-3. Just not a very good outing for us. Aaron Rodgers played decent at times, but our second half offense was pathetic. We were lethargic. We've got to put 2 halves together when we play football. Number 6, the Titans come back and beat the Ravens with Henry rushing for 133 yards. The Ravens were up by quite a bit in this game. Titans kept chipping away as they get the victory. Lamar continues to struggle. This is a big thing for Lamar. Last year he was the MVP, saying that he was the best player in the league. The league has figured him out. If you can force him to throw the ball, you got a good chance of beating him. He continues to struggle, and we'll watch this coming out of college. A couple years ago, that was his big thing. He's not a good thrower of the football. Not a good thrower of the football. He runs a lot, which is fine if you're going to run a lot. But running quarterbacks where you run mainly and only throw very often, you don't throw very often, you're not going to win in this league. If the leagues figure you out and they make you throw the ball, and if you're not very good, not very accurate, you're not going to win a lot of games. And even if you do, you don't usually win Super Bowls. So it's something to watch. I said coming out of college, and I really didn't believe he was the MVP last season. He put up good stats, but I was just wait till the defenses figure him out. Let's see if he can adjust and make those adjustments. He's criticized his play call, his coaches last week, saying that the defense knows what's coming. Well, because they figured you out, because you have to have a special offense made up for Lamar Jackson, and they figured that offense out. So they've got to come up with something next season and figure that out. Number 7, Taysom Hill gets his first start and his first win as the Saints beat Atlanta 24-9. Now, I'm not a big Taysom Hill guy. I was like, why is he going with Taysom Hill? First of all, the head coach of the Saints, I'm drawing a blank on his name. He has to prove why he paid Taysom Hill all that money. He paid him quite a bit of money to do that. Sean Payton is the head coach. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank tonight. Sean Payton has to prove to, I guess, the organization of why he paid Taysom Hill, their gadget player, all this money if he wasn't going to start. So he started him. He outplayed Matt Ryan. He had one more passing yard than Matt Ryan, and Matt Ryan and him didn't throw for touchdown pass, but Matt Ryan threw 2 interceptions, which was costly in this game. Taysom Hill got the win. Taysom Hill got the job done. We'll see what I wanted to see him play against a better team. The Atlanta Falcons are a wishy-washy team, and so I don't know what to really feel about Taysom Hill, but I guess he'll get to start next week. Maybe they mix it up and Jameis Winston gets to start. Drew Brees is out. He had 11 fractured ribs and a punctured lung. He'll be out for a while, maybe miss the rest of the season, and maybe only hitting into the playoffs. So we'll see what's going to happen there. All right, guys, it is time for the spotlight of the week. And the spotlight of the week, we should have done this a couple weeks ago, but we're doing this now. All right, it's the power rankings. We're going to do the power rankings. We did one the first quarter. We were supposed to do one the second quarter. I slipped up and forgot about that. We did the halfway awards on that week. So I'm going to throw you my top 5 power ranking teams. And this is kind of difficult when you get further on in the season. And it's a lot of times when you get further on, you can kind of weave a lot of teams out, but there's so many teams that are 7-3 that are good football teams. It's hard to figure out kind of who's in it. And then number 1, you've got to put the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're 10-0. They have not lost a game yet. If you start off a list and you don't have a Pittsburgh Steelers as number 1, then your list is already wrong. All right. And I know this is kind of a opinion-based thing where I'm going to what I've seen and stuff like that. But they're 10-0. They're undefeated. Give them the respect they deserve. This defense is amazing. This defense is really good. Now, they slipped up and almost lost the Dallas Cowboys a couple weeks ago. That was a trap game for them. They came out and played really good this last week as they won big, and they play the Ravens coming up. It was supposed to be on Thanksgiving night. It got switched over to Sunday because of COVID, and the Steelers look really good. They got a really good wide receiver crew. Ben Roethlisberger is playing pretty good football for them, and this defense is controlling offenses on the other side and not giving up many points. And you can continue to do that, and you're going to be successful. Number 2, I got the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 9-1. They're the one loss was we just talked about earlier was the Raiders early on in the season. This team is this team. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. They have a good defense. They got Patrick Mahomes running the ship. They got a good offense. This team is all around really well. They haven't been as explosive of a team this year. They've played a lot of close games this season so far. Maybe teams are trying to figure out Patrick Mahomes, but they're 9-1. This team is really good, and I do think they're going to be back in the Super Bowl for the AFC. Number 3, and this is where it gets a little tricky. I went with the Saints, though. The Saints are 9-2. They have the 3rd best record in the league. They're a good football team. Their defense has played really well. The defense is really what won them the game against Atlanta last week. And they're playing out. They're getting to the quarterback. They're able to cover guys and really force that quarterback to be on his game. Matt Ryan didn't look very good last week, threw 2 interceptions. The Saints have a really good defense. We're going to see what they can do with Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston. Who's going to get to start? Maybe they mix and match it. Drew Brees will be out probably till playoffs, so we don't know when he'll be back. But they've got the talent there to win. Sean Payton has to figure out what quarterback's going to be playing. He has to come up with a game plan for both quarterbacks and figure their strengths and weaknesses. And Winston's going to be able to throw the ball further downfield. He's also going to turn the ball over more. Taysom Hill is going to be more conservative with it, but he's also more of a threat to run the ball and do those things as a quarterback. So he's got to figure out where he's going to go with it. They probably stick with Taysom Hill to see what they got in him. But the Saints are my number 3. And this is where it gets really tricky. Number 4 and number 5 are really tricky. I'm going to list off the teams that are 7-3, all right? You have the Buffalo Bills, the Browns, the Colts, the Titans, the Packers. The Tampa Bay Bucks are 7-4, but honorable mention, the Rams and Seattle. All those teams are 7-3. The Bucks are 7-4. But they're 7-3. There's a lot of teams, and 7-3 is a great record. Great record. A lot of honorable mentions for this thing. But I'm going to go number 4. I'm going to pick the Los Angeles Rams, and the Rams were a team last year that had a really had an off year, and everyone thought, man, they had a bad year. They were 9-7 last year. 9-7 is not that bad of a year at all. We just had higher expectations for them. Their defense is playing really well. Jared Goff is playing pretty well. This offense is looking good. They looked good against Tampa Bay Buccaneers last night. Cooper Kupp and them making players miss and getting the yards after the catch. They looked really well. They were able to pressure and get pressure on Tom Brady, making him look really bad last week. I got the number 4. I think this is a team that will fight for that division. Right now, I believe they're number 1 in that division. They slipped past Seattle winning that game last week, and this defense is really good. This offense could be better at times, but they're coming together. McVay's got that special offensive packages where they confuse defenses. I think this team has a good chance to quietly continue to get the job done. Number 5 is the Green Bay Packers. I struggled here because I didn't want people to think I'm biased. But look, we have Aaron Rodgers. He is an MVP candidate this year. Our defense is okay. I think we're in the top 12 right now as far as that goes. We have a lot of holes to fill there. But when we come up and show up to play, our offense is almost unstoppable. Aaron Rodgers is playing MVP level. We were getting guys back. Lazard's coming back off of injury. I think this team is a top 5 team in the league. Our defense can be that way. Our schedule coming up, we play the Bears coming up Sunday night. This is going to be the first time we play the Bears. We're going to face their defense, which the defense is number 9 in the league right now, I believe. They're good. Their offense is not so good. So we should be able to beat them. I'm going to project that game coming up in the top 5 games of the week coming up pretty soon here. But the Packers are a team that I still believe they have that momentum, and I picked them over the Seattle, and I put them over Seattle because they have a better defense, honestly. And the defense is still questionable for Green Bay, but the Seattle defense is bad. I put them over the Bills because the Bills are questionable with what kind of quarterback's going to come out and play. Josh Allen's been playing really, really well. Then he went to a slump, and then he's back to playing pretty good. I want to see more out of that team before I put him in the top 5. The Browns are quietly 7-3. 7-3 is a big deal for the Browns, and you don't hear much about it because they're the Browns, right? And you don't hear much about it, but they're quietly getting the job done. And I talked about it before as this coach has come in here, and he's heard all the hype about the Browns getting these players last couple of years, and they're going to the Super Bowl, and they continue to fail. He's coming here. He's quieted that down. He's got the team playing well. He's got a good defense. He's going to quietly continue winning games, and I really like that coach for the Browns. The Colts, I still don't know what they are. We should have beat them last week. We didn't get the job done there, but I'm not a big fan of Phillip Rivers. I don't think their offense is all that great. The Titans could be at number 5 easily. They're playing pretty good, but I still put the Packers above them, and we'll see. They're going to face each other in a couple weeks, and we'll see who wins that. Tampa Bay's looked off, so I kept them out of my top 5 as well. All right, let's jump into the top 5 games of next week. It's week 12. Number 1 is the Ravens versus Steelers. This is the second meeting. The Steelers took the first game in Baltimore. This one's in Pittsburgh. The Ravens really need a win. Lamar Jackson needs to not struggle. He needs to come out here and get a good win to prove that he still, not that he still has, like he hasn't lost it, but that he can get the job done and get the job done when he counts. This is almost a playoff kind of atmosphere. He's been struggled in the playoffs. I got the Pittsburgh Steelers winning this game, though. I think the defense is going to be able to stop Lamar Jackson. They did it the first game they played him, and they're going to be able to win. They're at home. I think the Steelers are going to win quite handily. They have good wide receivers, and Big Ben's going to be able to throw the ball. And I don't think he might. He can turn it over against good defense. The Ravens have a good defense. Okay, I'm going to say it's more of a close game. I say Steelers win by 6 points, 3 to 6 points. But Steelers get the job done. Baltimore, I just think they're going to go downward from here. Lamar Jackson's been struggling. I got Steelers winning that game. Number 2 is the Titans versus the Colts. This game is interesting and not interesting. 2 boring teams that unless you're really a fan of, you don't really care for. Don't really care for at all. And the Titans, they're kind of the Titans are the old school team. They're going to play good defense, which is totally fine, but they're going to run the ball first. They're a run the ball first team, and that's not fun to watch. The Colts have a washed up quarterback who I don't believe in whatsoever, but he beat us. So I don't know why. He's old. He has some talent around him. Their offensive talent's not the best, but they have a number 2 defense, the number 1 defense in the league right now. And I just think the Colts aren't going to be there at the end of the day when it counts, when you need them. And I just think they're going to fluke out into the playoffs. These 2 teams are boring teams. I do got the Titans winning this game. I think they'll be able to pressure Phillip Rivers, who's the statue back there, and be able to run the ball as well and get past this Colts defense. I think Derrick Henry is hard to stop. Obviously, he is. And I got the Titans winning that game. Number 3, the Chiefs versus the Bucks. And now I got the Chiefs winning this game. Patrick Mahomes will have a good game. I find it very hard for that the Bucks are going to be able to stop them. They're going to force them to throw the ball because they're going to stop the running game. And Patrick Mahomes, when you force him to throw the ball, he's going to find the right guy. They're going to be able to pressure Tom Brady, and Tom Brady's going to look bad again. I think the Bucks lose 2 in a row. Number 4, I got this on here only because it is for the division. That's right. The Dallas Cowboys versus the Washington football team, who plays tomorrow on Thursday night on Thanksgiving Day. Now, I got the Cowboys winning this game. They've been playing with more momentum. They just came off beating the Minnesota Vikings last week, which surprised me. I thought the Vikings were going to be able to win and dominate that game. But the Cowboys get the job done there. They're playing in Dallas. I like this game. I like the Cowboys to win this game. I think the defense is playing with more dog in them, with more fight in them. And the Redskins, not Patrick Mahomes, what's his name? Alex Smith's playing starting quarterback. Gets the ball out quick. They run the ball okay. But I just feel like the Cowboys and this offense is starting to gel with Andy Dalton. I think the Cowboys win that game. Number 5, Sunday Night Football, the Packers versus the Bears. This is the first meeting of the season for them. The Packers, coming off a loss last week, is going to look for redemption. The Bears, they lost, or they had a bye last week, so they're coming off a bye. They're coming off healthy. They play us really well. I think this will be a tough, close game because the defense of the Chicago Bears. But the Packers won this game, in my opinion. Our offense is going to be a lot more explosive than the Bears offense. The Bears are going to look to run the ball and control the clock and beat us with that and the defense. Now, the Green Bay Packers has the most time of possession this year. We lead in time of possession, which is great. Long drives, we're holding on to the ball, keeping the other team off the field. I like the Packers to win this game. This is the oldest rivalry in sports history. I hate that it's on Sunday night because it means I got to stay up to watch it, but I love it. I love this matchup every year. You got two teams that know each other very well. They say division games are tough to play, and it's very true. The Bears play us really hard. But I still got the Packers winning this game. And man, oh man, look at this. A little bit of sidelines here. I did it a little bit out of order today. Sidelines, the Lakers just got a lot better, guys. The Lakers just came off a championship in 2020. Going into next season, they traded Danny Green. They got Dennis Schroeder back for Schroeder. And Dennis Schroeder averaged 18 points a game. He was the runner-up for the sixth man of the year. Danny Green only scored 8 points a game. We just upgraded big time. We go out, we get the sixth man of the year from the Clippers. He comes over and joins the dark side. Some would say, Harold, he comes over. He was a sixth man of the year. He averaged 18 points off the bench, had 9 rebounds. His defense is okay. He's going to be able to score, be another good body. He's better than Dwight Howard. Then we go out and we get Marc Gasol, which he's an old guy. He's just a guy, just a body to be there, and he can score some. He's going to block the paint up. But look, the Lakers just got better. Maybe they're preparing because the season starts next month on the 22nd, and maybe they're preparing for LeBron James not to be there, so they went out and got some more offensive scorer. But I really like the Dennis Schroeder pickup. Thought that was huge. Marcus Harrell comes over. I thought that was another huge pick. He was a sixth man of the year. Another huge pick. Clippers were pretty mad that he left, which makes me even happier. And I'm just excited for next season because it starts so soon. I haven't been into college football, guys. I really haven't. The COVID and stuff has really got me kind of bummed about not all the teams playing. A lot of big teams not playing, but they got the 4 teams right now as the first in the playoff picture. Alabama, Notre Dame, Clemson, and Ohio State are the top 4 teams. I think it's Clemson, then Notre Dame, then Ohio State. Those are the 4 teams that deserve to be there right now. Texas A&M is number 6. BYU not getting a lot of love. I think they're number 8 or 9. Not getting a lot of love, even though they're undefeated and beating teams pretty good. So look forward to that going forward and how that changes up. And when the football playoffs start, I will start watching that a lot more. But this is going to be a pretty short episode, guys. I apologize for that. Right now it's at 26 minutes. But like I said, I got a family in town. I'm about to go grab me some dinner. I hope you guys are able to have a good week. Excuse me for that. Hope you're able to have a good week. Hope you're able to have some good family time. Just really enjoy each other's company. Thank God for what you're blessed with. All the things that you have in your life, the food on the table, the house over your head, the job you have, or your family that you have around that table on Thanksgiving. And just be thankful and be grateful. One thing that our prophet of our church came out and said, our president of our church came out and he had a video the other day, and he was basically saying, I want you guys to go out for the next 7 days on social media and give something, use the hashtag give thanks and give something you're thankful for. I've been doing that this week. And he says to do that, to feel how uplifted you feel at the end of the week and how grateful you feel and humble you feel for the things that you do have. And there's always things that happen in your life. And sometimes you don't understand why. But let me tell you this. God, we go through trials and tribulations in our life because we're to grow and learn from those. They always say that God doesn't give you more than you can handle. If you're going through something right now that you don't think you can handle, I ask that you just pray. You pray to God for the strength to get through. I think I've prayed a lot of that about this year, getting through 2020, the craziness of 2020 that everyone's dealing with in one way or the other. Some have it worse than others. And if you don't have it as bad, I urge you to donate to charity, go out there and help your neighbor, figure out something you could do to help the person next door to you, bake them a pie, bake them a cake. There's plenty of things. There's a Facebook page I'm a part of, and they were like, let us know what you need. Let us know if you need anything. And they were talking about like trading, like I'll trade you, I'll mow your yard if you can help me do this, kind of trading jobs or doing something for me that I maybe can't do, and I'll do something that I can do for you. And I thought it was a great, awesome example. And I start reading the comments on maybe who needs, or it's the people as simple as, hey, I have a recliner I'm getting rid of. Who needs a recliner? As simple as that. And I saw one lady that says, I need food on the table for my kids. I lost my job with COVID, and I'm having a hard time feeding my family. And it broke my heart, but the outpour to this lady instantly is just, hey, message me, I can help you out. Message me, I can help you out. And she had so many on there. I got on there at the end. By the time I found it, there was also all these comments that said, look, I can go do this for you if you need me to. Please reach out to me. I can go and buy stuff at the store for you if you need so. She didn't message me. I guess she got plenty of help in different other ways. But looking and trying to do those things for others right now is very really what this time's about, is giving back to those less fortunate than you. So, but I hope you guys have a great weekend, a great week. If you're off this whole week for Thanksgiving, I'm only off tomorrow and I'm back to work on Friday. Take time to enjoy your family. Take time to enjoy tomorrow and give thanks to God and give thanks for all that you got. All right, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.